Welcome to the 2026 State of the City. We're glad you're here.
Our mayor and city council have helped bring progressive growth and transformation to Peoria.
We've made wise decisions that keep our parks beautiful and preserve our water resources.
As Peoria continues to grow, and boy are we growing, we remain committed to preserving our history and celebrating the rich diversity that shapes our community.
Downtown Peoria is evolving into a premier destination with new restaurants and special event spaces.
We're keeping Peoria safe through increased public safety programs, and tonight, we're here to celebrate the momentum of a city blazing new trails into the future.
And now, please welcome tonight's MC, Andrea Robinson.
Well, good evening, everyone. I am so happy to be here with you all. Really grateful to get to spend the next hour with all of you celebrating the good, and there is a lot of it that is happening in the city in which we live in and we all love. I've gotten to tell a lot of stories over the course of my career, and I tell you that nothing takes the cake more than telling good stories happening in my own hometown. And it feels like we just did this. I'm having like a little deja vu moment. And we did just do this, but it was a year ago. It's incredible how fast time goes and how much progress is made in a very short amount of time. But also, what's more hard to believe than how fast a year goes is this is the final state of the city for Mayor Beck. So it's going to be a good evening. We can promise you that. We are going to look back on all of the promises made and promises kept by your city council and your city leadership. So we've got so many people out in the crowd today. We have so many residents. I love seeing all the residents come out for this. So thank you for spending your evening with us. And of course, we have so many partners from federal to state and county, and of course, your Peoria City Council members. So if council would stand up, as well as any other elected official that is in the audience, we would love for you to stand up and give you a round of applause to thank you, because we know that you dedicate time and you devote a lot to making this city and your communities better. So thank you. Thank you all. If you all will join me next in welcoming Pastor Larry Fraley. He is the founding officer and member of Christ Church of the Valley, this church in which we are at, to the stage for tonight's invocation.
Well, on behalf of Christ Church of the Valley and its executive leadership and our entire congregation, welcome to this State of the City. You know, as I was trying to think of a passage that would be appropriate for this event, Jeremiah came to mind. He was a builder of cities. And in Jeremiah 29:7, the Lord says, "Seek the peace and prosperity of the city to which I have carried you. Pray to the Lord for it. Because if it prospers, you will prosper too." Let's pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for this evening. Tonight we come before you. We seek the peace and prosperity of Peoria. And thank you for this beautiful city you've entrusted to us, a place where families are raised and businesses are thrive. Neighbors become our friends. We're so grateful to call Peoria home. Lord, and we especially want to thank you for Mayor Jason Beck and his family, his wife, and their faithful service to our city. Thank you for his leadership, his dedication, and his heart for the people of Peoria. We're grateful. We're grateful for the countless hours that he and his family have invested in making our community stronger, safer, more vibrant. Bless him and his family for their sacrifice and service. And Father, as we hear tonight about the progress that's been made in Peoria, the progress in safety, the progress in water, security, economic development, and the quality of life that makes Peoria a special place, we acknowledge that every good gift comes from you. You are the source of wisdom, provision, and blessing. We thank you for guiding our leaders and for their partnerships that they have made for these accomplishments. And so tonight we ask for your continued wisdom for all who serve in leadership, for the mayor, for the city council, for the city staff, and for all who work to make a difference in Peoria and make it a great place to live and work and raise a family. I pray that you give them the discernment in their decisions, courage in their challenges, a vision for the future. Help them lead with integrity, compassion, and a commitment to serve every resident well. And Lord, we pray for unity in our country, unity in our state, unity in our community, unity in our city, and help us to work together to listen to one another, to build a city where everyone can flourish. And may we be a community marked by kindness, by radical generosity, and a genuine care for our neighbors. As we look to the future, we ask that your blessing on Peoria's continued growth, protect our families, strengthen our economy, secure our resources to help us to be good stewards for all of it, all that you've given us. And may the work we do at this time in history create a strong, sustainable future for generations to come. Thank you for this evening, for the meal we'll share, and for the opportunity to celebrate what you're doing throughout the city. We pray this all in the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord.
At this time, if you are able to, please rise for the presentation of colors by the Peoria High School JROTC, and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance led by the Trilogy Veterans Club and the national anthem performed by Luke Air Force Base Master Sergeant Michelle Gagnon.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
guys may be seated. Okay, now get cozy in those seats for a little bit, at least the next 13 minutes, okay? Sit back, relax, and enjoy. They put together something really, really great that really shows the path of excellence that Peoria is on and is continuing to go. So without further ado, take a look up here, your 2026 State of the City video.
Three years ago, Mayor Jason Beck and this city council established strategic priorities for the city that would ensure smart and responsible growth in the areas of economic development, public safety, and water security. As we look back at the successes, we can say with certainty that our city leaders did not just talk about the future, they laid the foundation and started building it. This is the story of promises made and promises kept. One of the key priorities of your mayor and city council was ensuring Peoria wasn't just a place where people sleep, but a place where people work. We secured the landmark Arizona State land deal, opening up the Peoria Innovation Core, or PIC, and North Peoria Gateway for high-wage, high-impact jobs. The biggest win? Amcor Technology. Their move to the PIC and subsequent expansion is a game changer for Arizona's semiconductor industry, bringing thousands of jobs to our backyard and protecting America's semiconductor pipeline. Their $7 billion investment puts Peoria firmly in control of the Loop 303's incredible economic momentum. Smart growth is the difference between building a city and building a legacy. In the Peoria Innovation Core, we're not just allowing structureless expansion. Our city planners have meticulously designed a balance where high-tech industry anchors the 303 corridor while retail thrives along Lake Pleasant Parkway. By utilizing the natural topography and weaving in buffers of open space, parks, and trails, we've ensured that our residential neighborhoods and business hubs don't just exist side by side, they enhance one another. It's sensible, it's sustainable, and most importantly, it's smart. But economic development isn't just about big industry, it's about the heart of our city. With the February opening of Caldwell County Barbecue, a neighboring Jefferson House now under construction, and the newly installed City Hall front yard, we're making downtown Peoria a true destination. Year-round special events add to the excitement of downtown Peoria and fuel the future growth of the area. Our newly designed City Hall front yard is more than just a renovation. It's an invitation for families to gather and celebrate the events that make our community unique. The unveiling of our newly renovated, state-of-the-art council chambers is a reflection of the modern, forward-thinking city we have become. In addition, the gateway to our downtown is now anchored by a 360-degree LED-wrapped water tower. This landmark doesn't just pay homage to our history, it's a sign of Peoria's transition into the future. In the city's entertainment district, we've transformed P83 into a true premier destination with the opening of the park. Welcoming favorites like Blanco, North Italia, and Postino hasn't just elevated our dining scene, it has created a gathering place for the community. In the north, we celebrated the opening of the Trailhead, a project that has truly become a cornerstone for the community. It brought more than just a flagship upscale Safeway, it brought a new level of local dining with destinations like Sparrow, Crust, and Jinya Ramen Bar, and a family favorite, Chick-fil-A, will be opening soon. From boutique shopping to the everyday essentials like your morning Starbucks, we've ensured that North Peoria residents have premier amenities right in their own neighborhood. This is what smart, resident-focused growth looks like. We're bringing specialized, world-class medical care to Peoria residents with the new Honor Health Medical Campus off the 101. Their new location on Lake Pleasant Parkway and Happy Valley Road, and a planned 8-acre medical district at 5 North in Vistancia. You can't have a thriving city without having a safe city. We promised to enhance our police and fire medical capabilities, and we delivered.
By leveraging new technology and optimized deployment, we've ensured officers are in the right place at the right time. These advancements have successfully cut our average response time from 5 minutes and 28 seconds in 2022 to just 4 minutes and 19 seconds today. We opened the state-of-the-art real-time crime center, giving our officers the tools needed to respond to crime even faster.
This new unit has saved the lives of our residents and officers by adding additional eyes and ears to critical incidents. By embedding fire personnel within the center, we've created a unified response to medical emergencies that is unmatched in the region. And its success hasn't gone unnoticed. With national accolades for Supervisor of the Year, Innovation, and Collaboration, our RTCC is now a destination for departments worldwide looking to learn how Peoria keeps its community safe. But our commitment to safety didn't stop on the ground. We took it to the sky with the launch of Peoria's first ever aviation unit. Peoria Air One has become a literal lifesaver. Whether it's locating a missing person, guiding a search and rescue, or providing tactical overwatch during pursuits, this eye in the sky means our officers are never alone and our residents are always protected. It is a force multiplier that has added a new dimension to our public safety mission. By providing real-time aerial intelligence, we're fighting crime more effectively and making sure that every officer returns home safely at the end of their shift.
Thanks to a new federal grant, we will soon be bringing Peoria Air 2 into service to better support the mission. The addition of a roof-launched unmanned aerial system, more commonly referred to as drones, will provide even faster rapid air support for calls around the city. These autonomous systems have the ability to track fleeing vehicles, monitor active scenes, and beam footage to the real-time crime center for active coordination with officers. These tools combine to make our city safer than it's ever been before.
There is no greater responsibility than the safety of our children. From day one, protecting our schools has been more than a council policy. It was a personal mission. We expanded our high school SRO program to include school liaison officers in our elementary schools, safeguarding our youngest students as well. By hiring more officers every year, we have moved closer to our ultimate goal: a dedicated officer in every Peoria school. We promised to watch over your family as we do our own, and we have kept that word. Smart growth requires smart spending. We bypassed the cost of building a new police training facility from the ground up by acquiring a ready-to-use facility, saving the city millions in the process. This multi-purpose building serves as a vital asset for our first responders by providing the space and resources they need for training, as well as safe storage area for police property and evidence. It's a testament to our commitment to innovation and fiscal responsibility. As growth continues in the north for the foreseeable future, so do the demands on public safety infrastructure. The planning for Fire Station 198 in North Estancia is complete and construction is underway. And a temporary Fire Station 199 has been added to the Saddleback community. We promise to keep you safe, and the data shows Peoria remains one of the safest cities in the region. In the desert, water is our most precious resource. While others talked about the water crisis, Peoria acted. We launched a sweeping turf reduction project across our city parks, a move that is now saving millions of gallons of water every single year. But we were strategic. We kept the grass in the play areas where our children and families gather, while replacing high-maintenance turf on slopes and non-active areas with beautiful desert-adapted landscaping. By adding rock features, drought-tolerant plants, and more shade trees, we didn't just save water, we elevated the beauty and resilience of our parks for the next generation. Water security is the foundation of our growth. We've expanded the Joe Max and Beardsley wastewater treatment plants, expanding our daily capacity by millions of gallons through high-tech, cost-efficient upgrades. This increased capacity will fuel our reclaimed water network, which we've expanded considerably in the last few years. For example, the new reclaimed water line to Paloma Park allows us to keep our community parks and our golf courses green without us tapping into our drinking water supply. Furthermore, these expanded facilities increase our aquifers' recharge capabilities, ensuring that as we drill new wells, We will increase our recycling capabilities by recovering more of our water to secure the future. Our new large water user ordinance is a smart water management tool that provides a critical vetting process for any new major project eyeing Peoria. It gives the city unprecedented oversight into the water footprints of potential developments. This policy ensures that we are the ones in control by prioritizing businesses that bring high-wage jobs and long-term value over those that would simply drain our resources. This ordinance protects our existing residents by guaranteeing that new businesses are held to the highest standards of conservation and fiscal responsibility. By requiring new industries to pay their fair share and adhere to strict conservation standards, we are ensuring that Peoria's growth never comes at the expenses of its future. Through strategic conservation, long-term investments, and the expansion of our infrastructure, we have proven that we didn't just plan for today's drought, we are securing Peoria's water future for the next 100 years. Peoria is not just a destination, it's a lifestyle. It's the excellence found in our schools, the peace found on our trails, and the memories made in our parks and at our lakes. Whether you are on mountain peaks or lakeside shores, the Peoria lifestyle is a testament to our commitment to your quality of life. Education is the engine that drives Peoria's success. The Peoria Unified School District is preparing students for high-demand careers through its innovative MET Professional Academy and over 20 industry certifications. By maintaining a 94% graduation rate and providing essential family support services, the district ensures a skilled workforce and a stronger, more connected community. Our top-rated school districts are complemented by nationally ranked charter schools. The addition of American Leadership Academy has further elevated our tradition of academic excellence. But we are also preparing our youth for the high-demand careers of tomorrow. Through our expanded partnership with West MEC, we are bringing 2 new campuses to the city, at 95th Avenue in Peoria and within the Fistancia community. By offering hands-on training in critical trades like welding and computer programming, we are ensuring our students have a direct path to prosperity right here in their hometown. You spoke and we listened. We heard your call for more ways to enjoy the natural beauty that surrounds us. To protect and manage these spaces, we created the MORE program, a division specifically designed to manage our 2,133 acres of open space and 1,100 acres of mountain parks. This is our commitment to smart, sustainable growth in Peoria. We promise to protect our desert beauty, and with MORE, we are doing exactly that. 3 years ago, Mayor and Council promised to deliver a stronger, safer, and more economically dynamic city. Today, we built the infrastructure, secured the city, protected the streets, and fueled the economy. The foundation is set, the vision is in motion, and the path is clear to Peoria achieving its true potential.
Pretty special, right? That's your city. You should give it a round of applause. A lot of growth, and it continues to thrive and become more beautiful in every capacity than ever. You know, us locals, it's real easy for us to say how amazing Peoria is, right? We're living here, we're working here, we're raising families here. But it's another thing when your peers take notice of the city that you live in, or even the media starts to see the magic that's happening in our backyard, our hometown. And that's what's happening. In fact, tonight we have KTAR's very own Mike Broomhead here. He is recognizing the achievement that Peoria has been on the path working towards and the excellence that they continue to achieve. And he's here to talk a little bit about the excellence that he has seen come out of the city in the last several years and the path that we are continually on. So please welcome Mike Broomhead to the stage.
It's a pleasure to be here. In honor of the mayor, I'm working on the mayor's haircut. I met the mayor when he was running for office. I was asked to come to Peoria and moderate a candidate forum. And I really didn't know the mayor well, but I was able to meet him before we took the stage. I listened to what he had to say on stage. And then I've gotten to know him over the years since. And I can tell you the genuine person that he appears to be is the person he is. You can judge people by a lot of different things. Do they do what they say they're going to do? Who do they care the most about? How do they treat the people that they don't have to treat kindly? So there are a couple of things I want to talk about with Peoria that I've seen and witnessed over the last few years. I've been in Arizona for 31 years, and Peoria was known for a couple of things. It was the road we took on our motorcycles to get out to Lake Pleasant. There were glider rides near Lake Pleasant, and that was what Peoria was to many people. It was a place you passed through to get to where you were going, and that's no longer the case. Couple of things I noticed that were very impressive to me. The mayor invited me to come out and see the Day of Giving out at the sports complex. How many of you been out? How many of you have been there? If you haven't, I am telling you, you need to. What they have put together in the city to take care of those in need is a labor of love for the mayor. And I'll tell you what the best part of my morning was. We went out before it opened. There were 1,000 people lined up, more than 1,000, thousands of people lined up outside of Peoria Sports Complex to come in, and it was providing Christmas for kids that may not otherwise have it. The mayor took me around and showed me every part of it and was very proud of what he showed me. But it's where I met his family. And I watched his children working like crazy, and a labor of love for them as well. And his wife invested in this. This is a family affair where it is something where they feel as if being a servant leader matters, serving the community around you, and it's carried over into that Day of Giving. That alone tells me everything I need to know about your mayor and about the city of Peoria. I watched the mayor interact with first responders, public safety. Everybody that ever runs for office wants to put it on their signs, public safety, police and fire endorsed. There are a few people that get the reception when interacting with first responders that the mayor gets because his investment is honest and his investment is real. When you look at the city of Peoria, people want to live here, businesses want to invest here, families want to put roots here, and the people that work for the city are pleased and proud to represent the city. That is a thriving city to me. I am envious of the success of the city of Peoria, but it's done intentionally. Every plan, it's not kind of throwing a dart at the wall and hoping that it lands in the right place. It's intentional investment. It's intentional belief in the citizens. It's intentional belief in the businesses that will come and put down roots. And it is done all for the good of the community and not for the good of self. And I think all of that describes the person I've met in your mayor. Tonight, he's going to be joined on the stage with somebody else, and as odd as this sounds on my show, when I have a chance to talk business and investment with Danny Seiden, I will tell you I get excited because I don't know of anybody else that could get me excited about taxes and talking about business like Danny Seiden, but he has been a part of the investment in the state of Arizona for a very, very long time. And when you have a partnership from the Arizona Chamber of Commerce and Industry with the cities and with everywhere else in investment and making sure that businesses flourish and the jobs are provided, that's a thriving community. And that's exactly what they provide. So tonight's conversation, I believe, is going to be one that's going to be educational. I think it's also going to be one that you in the city of Peoria should be proud of, that you have a mayor and you have a council and you have people that are invested in making a community a better place when they leave it than when they got here. And the two of these gentlemen have certainly done that. I want to introduce to you Danny Seiden from the Arizona Chamber of Commerce and your mayor, Mayor Beck. Please welcome them to the stage.
Thanks, man. That was a good intro. I appreciate it. Wow. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Broomhead, for that introduction. To be clear, he gets excited about when we talk about cutting taxes, not just taxes in general.
I was wondering about
Yeah,
that.
no, so no one likes talking about
Can I
taxes.
pause for 1
Oh,
second?
please, yeah.
So before we get started on something, council members, could you rise for a second? City of Peoria council members, could you come this direction, just to stand against the stage? I know they hate this, by the way. So we talk about vision, and you'll hear a lot about it tonight. And this is not a giant award or anything else like that. We're trying to put something together really quick because I wanted to try to recognize you all for what you guys do. My drive is the vision, and the execution is all of us together. We sit there, we give our time, we get time away from our families, just like a lot of elected officials do, and we try to give of ourselves as much as possible. But I truly wanted to say thank you for participating. Thank you for believing and really adding to the vision of Peoria and the futures of what we have for our great city. So thank you, thank you. Thanks, man. That's yours. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Come here. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to make sure I don't fall off stage at the same time. Yeah, they're like trying to pull me off here. I'm just kidding. They have your awards. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, bro. So, you know, the aspect of this is one of the things, and hopefully you hear this in my voice tonight is none of the things that we've achieved in the last 3 years is possible with not only great people that actually serve or are willing to step up and serve, but we're just part of the path. It really comes down to staff and doing everything that we're actually putting into action. People truly believing in that. But I thought it was important to make sure that you all know how much I truly, truly appreciate you. I mean, I've made some absolute friends for the rest of my life. So thank you.
So Mike started with a little bit of history, talking about what Peoria was. You know, when it was the place you would drive through on your way out of town. I want to go back a little bit further with history before we get into these questions, because I was thinking about this. I was here a year ago. I was fortunate enough to do this 1 year ago. Tonight's a little bit more bittersweet, as it's your last one that I'll get to do. But I was thinking about this in terms of history, that if you go back to 1886, right, 4 families from Peoria, Illinois, moved here. They named the city after their hometown, which, by the way, was the whiskey capital of the world, the global headquarters for Caterpillar, and they probably thought there was going to be this quaint little community, you know. And now here we are, all these years later. Your median income, you know, is up to 110,000. Your population is over 200,000. Whereas Peoria, Illinois, has no Caterpillar, has no whiskey. Their population is down below 100,000, and their median I think income is 54,000 off the top of my head. So
I think there's a lot of whiskey sales still there. I just don't know if they make it there.
So I think the students become the master in this, and you are now the Peoria for the country. And a lot of that has to do with the vision and your priorities and things you've run on. And that's what I want to talk to you about. I know we're going to cover public safety, economic development, water security, your 3 key priorities that you ran on. Can you tell us how these priorities have really shaped your time as mayor now that we're in your final year?
I mean, it's when I first ran, and I remember having this conversation with my wife Jane here, and even our kids and our family members, and really having this conversation about what was going to make the difference for our city. And at the time, we didn't really feel that public safety was actually taken care of. There wasn't really there was a real inflection point in the city, and you look at it, we've added a tremendous amount of money and resources to, as well as individuals, to public safety, both in fire and police. And it was that was the major driving force for me to run. And a lot of people, including people on this council, actually spoke to me about getting in the race. And the difference is I felt like I really needed to bring an economic understanding to the overall job and what needed to happen, because I thought there was a different story. There wasn't just the reasoning we couldn't take care of some of these things is because we didn't have the funds to do it, right? So we didn't have the people, the focus, the time, and the intention, and more importantly, the one person that was in the leadership role did not actually focus on what that next step was. And for me, it was all in or not. So meaning that if I'm going to say I'm going to go do those 3 things, which you just listed out, you know, public safety, water infrastructure, and overall infrastructure, if you really look at what we're doing, and really taking care of bringing in jobs, bringing in education, focusing on those things, and then staying beam of light focused on those pieces. People say a lot of things about me, including guys that are taking photos right now. I'm not calling you out, Phil. Don't worry. But the difference is nobody can say that I didn't do exactly what I said I was going to do, and that's the point. We have this opportunity to really make a difference in our communities, and I've got 6 amazing kids. I've got one daughter-in-law and one daughter-in-law on the way here pretty soon, if you will. All right, very quickly. We had our first grandson, which was amazing. So only 23 more to go, and just kidding, guys, just kidding. No pressure at all. And you guys are the future, don't worry. But it's really sticking to your guns and making the difference. And I think that's really the key. The economic strategy was how did we actually how did we look at all these things? I met with Jim Rounds, who was one of the top economists, as you know, in the state, and really sit down and said, okay, these are the things that I'm seeing. What are you seeing? And then trying to put those things together from a business approach, not an emotional approach, and really looking at what we could affect in a very short period of time.
No, that's again, thank you for the leadership on that. I want to zero in on public safety to start, but I do have to say this. I know it could just be the old staffer in me. One thing that you did that doesn't get enough attention or credit is the staff that you've hired, because my members have to deal with city staff in all 92 now of our cities here in Arizona, and the compliments of the professionalism that we get about your staff in Peoria. Speaking of Henry Darwin and Mike Faust, who I know are in the room, they deserve a round of applause as well. You've done such a good job with them. And that reflects on your leadership. So it shows you what your priorities are.
Yeah,
Hiring.
my wife and I were actually talking about that this morning, about just kind of the attributes of what, why, and when. And in our business, not every single person that starts a position is the person that's going to take that next job. And so when we started looking at what was going to what was right, what was right looking like down in the future, and how you would identify that, it was really the people. Like, I could have this amazing vision and try to, or what I thought was an amazing vision, but we had this vision, and how could we put all these pieces together? And it was, one is getting to know council members that actually could, one, buy into that vision, and then bring and add value to that vision. And all of these council members have. And then the second was even if they didn't believe in that vision, stay true to the vision and then just prove it out. Like, make friends with people. There's people that are on this council that necessarily weren't on my side in the beginning, and I just stayed true to exactly who I was. The same thing was true was, how do you actually focus on staff? I was as a lot of them, they'll laugh because some of them are already smiling when I say this. A lot of people were like, the big bad wolf's coming in, right? He's going to do all this other stuff. He's going to take a business approach. Well, a business approach is actually getting to know the people that actually work for you, and actually finding the value in each person, and actually finding what the good is and what they're capable of, right? And then helping grow those people. And I'm very proud to say that we've done a lot of that. We've really tried to pour into a lot of people. And then the other aspect of it, which I think is the biggest point that you pointed out, is we looked at staff members and look at staff and tried to recruit. And Henry Darwin was the first. He was the first catalyst to this. And I was texting with him earlier how thankful I am that he believed in the vision, because everybody thought I was crazy trying to get the guy that was the COO of the state of Arizona to come to small little Peoria to try to change the path for Peoria and try to realize what its full potential was. And that was what the next step was. And now Mr. Mike Faust is the city manager, who came from Child Protective Services and did an amazing job taking care of our kids all around the state for over 7 years under the Ducey administration. We've got Travis Cutright as assistant city manager back there. We've got, Kevin Burke, who Kevin, I absolutely love you to death. You know that. I'd hug you right now if you were standing here. Kevin's this person that was interim city manager and really allowed for the change to occur and really helped me grow very, very early on. And I think that's key for any elected official, is to understand the people that are around you and try to work within those guidelines of what they're capable of, and then learn as much as you can, and then grow, push hard. You can't stop pushing. So.
Good. So starting with public safety, we've seen a lot of big investments in public safety in Peoria, and we saw so much of that in the video. Your aviation unit, the real-time crime center. What kind of impact have those had so far?
It's incredible. I mean, if we just launched drone as a first responder this last week. We have 2 different systems. So, you know, when we first went down this path, we had positions that were open and actively not being filled. And you know, the previous administration, that was one of the downfalls that was actually going on is they wanted to spend money in the other areas and not necessarily focus on public safety. So our response times are up. Since that change, and Chief Interior, if you're in the room, I'm sure you are somewhere, and all of the officers that are in here, I'll start on the police officer side first. Thank you. If you look at those response times, every single person in this room should see the difference in 1 minute and above on response times. That when we're looking at actually trying to make sure that we actually save a life, all of the officers that are in here and the policies that this current chief has put into place has made a huge difference in saving people and saving lives. Um, they truly believed in what the policies that I wanted as far as the air unit. We have a second air unit coming as well. Both of them, mind you, one paid for the state from our great legislators that are sitting here, and no charge to the citizens of Peoria without except for the operations cost currently. And then we have a second one from Abraham Hamida, who is our congressman for this area, who put in for a congressional plus up, and I worked with him on that. And we doing that so we providing a longevity in that product, and making sure that we're keeping people safe. And then the tactical capability as far as how we're actually looking at the real-time crime center and actually saving lives. And we've literally saved lives with the real-time crime center. We talked about it last year at last year's State of the City. We have a firefighter currently, or has been currently in there. I know that he's actually helped save lives just from actually being in there, and the response times have made a huge difference in doing that. From between fire and police, we've added a tremendous amount of assets to fire. We just opened up another, or just did the groundbreaking on another fire station. There hadn't been one in 20 years prior to that. And we put a tremendous emphasis on public safety specifically. We've added almost 100 positions between fire and police, 100 in 3-year period of time. So, absolutely.
You know, this next one's a little bit is a little bit personal too, because you've been really focused on student resource officers, and I don't know how aware of this, but there was a multitude of threats that went out last Friday to schools, and a lot of parents, myself included, had to sit around while our kids were in a lockdown situation for about 4 to 6 hours.
Yeah.
So, can you talk to us about you know, why are SROs so important to you, and how's that program grown?
Well, it's in the front row for me, right? I mean, it's a it's a very big deal. You know, we talk about investing, and what the thing that we should be investing in is the future in our kids. Not only in education, and you know, there's things like, you know, bringing charter schools and doing all those other things. Those are amazing, right? We've worked very hard, and we've got an incredible school system here with all the different schools that we have and the school options for parents to be able to participate in. But if you're not investing in your kids' safety, meaning that we're actually not putting money into the school resource officers, and that's exactly what we're doing. So we've had 9 positions added since I became mayor. It was something that I really, you know, I look at, how do you not think about our children being in those schools? I visited a couple of these schools with our SROs, and it's made a massive difference in behavioral capable. You know, you look at the capability of a teacher being able to talk to a SRO, to be able to have a conversation with a student. And that doesn't necessarily mean, hey, you're bad. It's actually the opposite. It's building that relationship with that student. It's building a solid, positive relationship at a very early age, where some of these children, and a couple of the officers in here, I know Aponte is here. We visited a school, and we ended up having some of these kids that were in the foster care system, just like how I grew up. And you look at their relationship. Their relationship is, they don't have a dad at home. They have a relationship with that officer that's in school, and those are the things that we need to see. But it also, for us as parents, it makes us feel great, but it can't just feel great. It needs to be great. So we need to continue to invest in this. We need to invest. We need to continue from the legislator standpoint. I know that they're doing a tremendous job trying to get that next direction for us, to actually get more money towards school resource officers, and it needs to continue, because they are our biggest investment.
Well, thank you as a parent for doing that, having just lived through it. So we really appreciate it. Move on to economic development, which again, such a big tenet of what you've done over the last 4 years. You know, there's a lot of attention around the development happening in North Peoria, and a lot of the PIC and everything else that you've done. But let's talk a little bit about downtown. It's been a big focus of you, and what progress have you seen there?
Well, I know you guys were really here for the brisket, not me, right? I said last night in the council meeting, I know everybody's coming. If you're not coming to listen to me speak, you're coming for a Beck brisket and a banana pudding, right? So that, if you, yeah, exactly. So if you put up for like 15 more minutes, you'll get there. I promise. Sir. That's your only fee, right? So, um, when there's a really good friend of mine, I know he's in the room. I have no idea where he's at here. Tony Fighter. Tony and I traveled around the city and we looked at all these different things. And this is one of the things. Whenever he's right here, actually. Whenever I'm like looking around for him. I know he's somewhere. And when we were downtown Peoria, we were going down and looking around, and it was just a shambles, and nobody had invested in it. And we talked to developers, and we'd go, and he would literally take me to developer friends of his, and you couldn't get anybody to invest money. Nobody wanted to spend money. Nobody wanted to actually be the first person to go spend 10 or 15 million dollars. I mean, you deal with this all over the state, right? And Chad Haywood, who was my political advisor at the time, sat down. He's like, I think that if once you get in, we need to go meet with the city of Gilbert, and we need to go meet with Mayor John Lewis, who had been the mayor that put downtown Gilbert on the map and really made the difference. And so when we won the race, that was the very first thing we did. And I had more barbecue and coffee, lots of coffee, than I knew what to do with. And what we did is we took council members and we took city staff. We had over 120 people go over a 4-week period of time. And every week we would go and do the same tour. We did it 9 times. And that made the difference. And some of you for the East Valley, I know Senator Warren Peterson here, and this is what he loves that area, right? And he should, because it's an amazing area. Our goal was, how do we bring Gilbert to Peoria? How do we bring the restaurants, the vibrance? And then they had a water tower, and I was like, and so we're sitting there, and he's like, oh, this is the pinnacle. This is what shows off. And I'm like, okay, now I have to beat this water tower, right? All right. So I decided we're going to do a digital water tower so we could advertise Peoria. We could really have it light up the sky and make a big difference. And staff thought it was absolutely crazy. And it took, and I was, because it took a year and a half, almost 2 years to completely pull it off digitally because of the rounded screen. But if you have not driven down there, what we had seen in Gilbert is the city of Gilbert had built 3 restaurants. They bought the buildings, they reinvigorated them, and really reinvented downtown Gilbert, and everything from the trash containers being far away from the parking lots. We literally stole all these good ideas, and we started bringing them back. And we would literally come back from Gilbert. Some of you remember this, and we would come back to Osuna Park right across the street. And I'm like, I'd line everybody up. They all thought I was crazy, and I'm like, close your eyes for a second, and then just look, and then they would all see it. And that's exactly what we've done. So we have Caldwell's Barbecue, which is an amazing building. The city of Peoria. The very first thing we did was we put $15 million towards building the downtown reinvigoration. And so we put our money where our mouth is, right? Since 1991, people had talked about it. We did it in a year and a half, right? We put it into action. Absolutely. So if you haven't been down there, this is the point where you go, I have to go actually check this out. And I promise you, between Caldwell's and just the overall landscape of what we're actually putting down together, it is changing dramatically. Some of you, I see some of the faces whenever I would go to your homes, I would say, do you guys know where downtown Peoria is? And and they're like, no. And I'd show them on a map, and they're like, why would I go down there? Right? And now you have a reason, right? You have a reason to actually not only see your city center, you have we have our front yard at the city hall now. We just redid our entire council chambers, which is absolutely amazing. We're making downtown Peoria. We're not just taking it and changing it on the map. We're actually putting it on the map or back on the map and making a difference. And we want everybody that drives through our city to stop and actually spend money in our city.
So no more passing through. We have to stop.
Your toll is you have to buy barbecue.
I recently had lunch with the mayor at Caldwell. It is delicious. I did full endorsement for Caldwell barbecue. A lot of talk about the big projects that you've attracted, including in Amcor. You know, huge deal. It's vital for national security. It's vital for economic security. We're very proud that they're here in Arizona. People don't understand what advanced packaging is sometimes. It's really how everything comes together on those chips. It's so vital. But we're living in a day and age where growth is almost a bad word sometimes, and these projects are tough to bring together. How have you done this? How have you been able to pull this off?
What would you say, babe? Resilience? Lots of shower talks, if you will. Um, yeah. I love that. So early on in the campaign, whenever I was running, somebody asked Jane, and it might be somebody in this room, had asked Jane, because she was on stage with me, and said, what would you say his love language was? Does anybody remember what that is? Spreadsheets and conflicts. Conflict and spreadsheets.
I was getting very nervous where that would go, but yeah, all right, I'll take it. Okay. I wasn't there for that question.
Conflict and spreadsheets, right? If you're willing to put it on paper and actually model it out on a financial model and really understand the financials of what it could be, and then be able to go to battle to make it happen. Unfortunately, not everybody agrees or even agreed still with the change that we've actually undertaken, and that's okay. My job as mayor is, and I truly think it's kind of interesting that we're at a church when I say this, but I think God puts us all on a planet for a very specific reason, and my reason was this, was to actually try to make a difference in my own personal community, and actually try to use the skill set that I've been blessed with, which is, in some cases, my wife would say conflict and spreadsheets, but it is a blessing. And the blessing of being able to understand how to drive revenue, put teams together, motivate people, and actually try to drive a vision. Again, that doesn't mean everybody's going to understand or agree with that vision, and that really is okay. My job is to take care of everybody. So just because that's one aspect of what I do, I stayed being a light to it, and I think that was the major difference. I think trying to focus on how we were going to change when we had 85 to 90% of the citizens leaving our city to work somewhere else, and really trying to grow our future, because it's not us. Like, we're all, well, most of us are gray. I don't see any gray in your hair, but yeah, it's coming somewhere. But when you get older and you have kids that are starting their own families, and they're not able to live in your city, it's a shame. And it's a shame because we're not creating jobs in our city, and you want them to be able to live close to home, or be in your community, and you want them to have their kids go to schools where they want to go to schools. Well, the only way that happens is if you've got to focus on a very deliberate and very specific task, and know what that is, and stay being a light to it. It has not been easy. Would you agree, council? All right. There's lots of head shaking, right? And Facebook and next door is the enemy, right? So I would say that, right? Stay off that. It's bad, right? Bad. And you know, for some odd reason, when somebody gets on social media, no matter what the age, they believe that they just can do and say. And I know you take a lot of this. I've seen comments, right? And it's crazy. You have to truly believe, if you really believe in what you're trying to accomplish for other people, and that's who I really believe I am. And I'm not doing this for myself. I'm doing it for the future of our children. And I think that if you really truly believe in that, you stay true to heart, and you don't read the comments, even though they're hard sometimes because other people's text them. Also, don't text comments to other people either, right? Just because you read them, don't text them to a friend, right? And it makes it very difficult. So you have to stay. You really, really have to stay true to heart, and I think that's what we've tried to do. So,
No, I've often said, at the chamber, we have a lot of opponents. We have to battle environmentalists, out-of-state unions, foreign governments occasionally, you name it. But by far, the meanest, most nastiest opponent I've ever had are the NIMBYs.
Oh yeah.
Who write things on nextdoor.com, and that gets screenshot and sent to me, and I want to pretend like I'm immune to it.
It's mean.
Really, they're good. They're like good at pushing the right.
Look, I'm a 240-pound man. Sometimes I get on my knees from it. It's pretty crazy.
It's tough. Well, I know we're at a church, and there's one thing I've learned from going to church is that when those numbers start to turn red, everyone in the crowd gets a little bit antsy and gets a little bit anxious.
They're smelling the brisket.
So yeah, we're standing in the way of them and brisket and banana pudding, which is not good. So I know we could talk about water security. We talked about all the other things that you've done, and the videos cover that so well. But I really want to end with it's that unpleasant legacy question.
Yep.
I can remember you saying, I'm not doing legacy questions early on in your career. Well, the time is now. We want to hear about this. We want to hear, when you look back on your time as mayor, what are you most proud of? What are, the next place that names itself after your Peoria that you helped build? What are you most proud of?
So man, that is a crazy one. I think honestly, the thing that I'm proudest of, could city employees just stand up for a second? Some of them are already standing up, but if they're in the room, is ever all the city employees just in the back of the room? I see some city employees over here. You can't. Police officers, firefighters, everything else. Absolutely. Yeah. So you don't have to stay standing. I appreciate it, but I really do pray that employees that are in the city understand how much that I've created a vision that it is hopefully one path. I don't think that it's the only path. And a lot of you have heard me say that, right? Nothing's the Bible when it comes to this. I'm just one step and one cog and process. And I think, we in the political space, a lot of people will automatically, I've seen a lot of politicians like, I'm the end all be all, this is the only way it does. And I really, truly don't think that that's how it's supposed to be done. My vision and the direction and this change that we've undertaken in the city of Peoria truly could not be done without any of you, without having the hard work that you guys have done. So I can't thank you enough. So please, everybody, just so I would say that I'd say the legacy component of that is not a statue, right? I think that's like the most ridiculous thing. Not a park, not anything else like that. What it really is hopefully that the people that I've hopefully poured into, or the people that I've actually spoken with, or that have made an impact on, I really do pray that they continue that same type of policy or same type of thought process of who else are they pouring into. We become static as human beings a lot of times, and we think that there's only one path, or we think that the next person is trying to take our job and those types of things. I've never looked at it that way. In fact, and when I ran for office, I never looked at it that way. I didn't really care. What I cared about was trying to change the thought process, and I figured that if God wanted me to be in this position, that I would prosper, and it happened to go that way. The impact that the employees of the city make, out of the 1,700 plus employees that are here, those are the difference makers. I just get to be the vision. Our council gets to work on that vision and add to that vision, and we get to adopt that vision. And then the amazing employees that are in the city. So I really do pray that the people that we've impacted, I think that the people that trust me, I want to make an impact on the citizen, and I think we have, and we've created all these amazing jobs and all these other things and all these life-saving things. But none of that happens without all the people that are actually making the difference makers, that actually take care of all of us in this city. And I really, truly hope that we all remember that. That has been the most special thing. It's also the hardest thing, not to get sentimental. You asked me that question earlier. It's like, it's not a sentimental piece, but it is just the ultimate pride of the employees that work in the city and all the things that they do. And it's been the biggest blessing outside my wife and kids. It's been the biggest blessing in my life. So thank you for letting me serve you. So.
I know you said not to get sentimental, but it's sentimental for those of us who value leaders like you. And it's my hope, and actually I would say it's my belief and prediction, this won't be the last time I do get to talk to you in a leadership position. It's rare to meet people willing to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do, and not caring about the statute, not caring about the park named after themselves. I mean, I want a statue. I'm kidding. I don't want a statue, but
you do for soccer.
Yeah, for being a soccer coach. That's true. Anything, yeah.
Any around soccer.
But I know that everyone appreciates you. You know, a lot of times we say legacies in politics are written on sand. The next person can come along and change everything. That's not going to be the case with you. What you've done with Peoria, what you've done with your staff, what you've done with all of us, and the story we get to tell as a state because of it, that's not written on sand. So thank you very much, Mayor Beck. Really appreciate this. Looking forward to having brisket with all of you in a few minutes, but, you know, I really appreciate this opportunity. Thank you. I'm sneaking off there.
That's for you, right? Thank you. Thank you.
Well, that's a wrap on this year's, the 2026 State of the City. And as you heard, there is dinner out under the patio, courtesy of Mayor Beck and his family, Caldwell County Barbecue. And if you haven't had it, I'm just going to tell you, the second half of your life is about to begin. So go out there, enjoy, be safe, and have a wonderful evening.